Alright, so let's start with Lonnie's question here. Excuse me. Alright, so the tools I personally use, my main tools for analyzing expired domains are OpenSite Explorer and Register Compass. Register Compass is the main one. That's what you actually find the domains with, and I go over this in all the videos, Lonnie, but this is what you find the domains with, and then OpenSite Explorer is what I analyze them with. This is $37 a month. OpenSite Explorer you can get for free for like 3 or 4 months. There's coupons out there. You can ask in the Facebook group, but they always have coupons available for some free months going. All right, so those are the two main tools that I use. From Michelle. For me personally, Michelle, I just went off, my experience, like what I was going through. For example, I've made health sites because I'm into health. The e-cigarette thing, they helped me quit smoking, so anytime there's something like that's a big deal, quitting smoking. So I knew they worked, so I just looked into if they can make money, and I actually met Tim Schmidt, who at the same time told me that he's making a lot of money with it, so, like, the e-cigarette thing just kind of came together because I had experience with it, and then also, I found out that it could also make good money, so, the gold, like, I've sold a lot of gold online. I've bought gold myself, which is why I sell it as well, because I believe in it. So just stuff that I have experience with. I'll start looking into it. Like if you're interested, like I'm interested in sports, maybe I'll look into like how to sell different sports stuff. Just stuff like that. Like whenever you're interested in something, just kind of look deeper into it for like affiliate programs and stuff you like to do. Because whenever it's something you like to do, it's a lot easier to keep it going. From David, anywhere from one to a ton. I mean, I think I did an over the shoulder video in the new series. This is now number one. Franklin, Tennessee MMA classes, and this link right here came from a $12 domain. All right, or it was like $24 or something like that. One link from a $24 domain. Um, Even my friend owns a barber shop. You type in Delaware Barbershop. This is his shop right here, or Delaware Barber Shops. They're also number one for that. All one link for this site. But then, if you go to electronic cigarette reviews, which is a huge keyword, here's my site number one. This probably has over 100 links to it, blog network links. But it also ranks for, tons of other keywords and it makes a lot of money. But it just depends on the competition. It can be as little as one link, or it can be in the triple digits, depending on how big the competition is. But again, this is a very competitive keyword, so that's why this took so many, and it also ranks for other keywords. I'm going after like brands, reviews, best, like if we do best e-cig, something like that, which is a huge search, number 4. So that's why that took so many links. From Pris. I haven't really messed with them, so I actually don't know personally. I mean, just from like an SEO standpoint, I would just say probably give you a little boost, because if you're putting an SSL certificate on, you're adding kind of more time to the whole process. So they'll probably look at it as, if they're willing to take the time to add this, then we're going to give them a little more credit, just because it's probably like legitimate. It's more likely that it will be legitimate. So I mean, that's my look on it, but I don't have experience with it firsthand. All right, good. We got tons of questions coming in. All right, from Carol. Awesome, Carol. Yeah, again, anyone that's new, the best way to do this is go through the content and write down questions as you go through it, and then ask them at the coaching sessions. It would save most of your SEO questions for me, client getting for Fletch, and then, other stuff for Mike. from Pris. I mean, the only thing I'm really messing with is fake names in GoDaddy. You can do fake names in there. I just started really doing that. Um, I know people who have all their sites fake names and they're totally fine. Me personally, I still am going to switch it up. I'll probably do a lot of fake names because I have so many private who is already. So for a little while, I'll do a lot of fake names, and then I'll go back to doing some fake, some private who is, just to mix it up. Because something happens where they take out all the fake names somehow, then you lose your whole network if you did your whole network like that. So you always got to think ahead like that and just kind of mix it up. Just mix it up as best you can. From Andrew. Yeah, I've used foreign PBNs, and you can use them. They pass link juice, Andrew, but I just don't necessarily recommend them because it's just so hard to analyze a foreign site. I can kind of tell a lot of the times, like if it's worth it or not, just from experience, like just by looking at like the domain authority, page authority, and just kind of like the setup of everything. I don't know how to explain it. Just from experience, I can tell, but I don't recommend you do just because it's just a safe way to go. I mean, they're better off not being touched. I usually don't even touch them myself unless I can tell that it's very powerful. So there's so many other sites you don't need foreign, and also, that's something that Google could very easily change where if they see foreign anchor text, they can easily put that together that it's not gonna like get as much juice or could even pass the penalty to something. Especially if you're using a lot of them. Like I just think that's something they could easily start doing. You know what I mean? Because they could just put together Chinese anchor text, pointing to something with English anchor text. I think it's something they could easily figure out. So that's another reason I just don't mess with it too much, unless it's a very, very strong site I can get for cheap. All right, from Kevin. You don't have to answer aloud. Um, I not really, Kevin. Like testing, I do. Like in my I test different stuff, and with that I do. But when I'm trying to rank something, no. I just point PBNs at the money site. That's it. But of course, I'm always doing different testing, and some of that testing does involve, that type of stuff. So, all right, from Dave. Probably PBN links, Dave. We'll probably test other Fiverr gigs and see what we can do. But it looks like, yeah, Seawork servers just got, they probably just got onto his gigs. They probably went in, ordered, and, seen what he was doing and kind of shut it down. I'm guessing. I saw someone post today that like, it wasn't showing up for a while, and now a gig from him just gave them success. But they also added, like, 2 PBN links, so I don't know. I probably would not use him now, just to be safe, until it's tested, but we'll see what happens. From Sue. No, I have no problem using SEO hosting. It's pretty much all I use. Again, the big ones that I use are BizBuilder hosting, which is Todd Spears. He is a OMGer. I have a ton with him. ASEO hosting is one of my favorite. ASEOhosting.com. I do have some on SEOhosting.com. They're expensive though for what they give. Indian Nets is pretty good. Just be careful getting the same C-class IPs with them. Do not use SEO Host. Do not use this company. I do not like them. I do have some with hostseo.org. They're decent. Who else? The big ones that I use are BizBuilder and ASEO hosting. Indian Nets I do like as well. You just gotta again be careful getting the same IPs. There's also SEOwebhosting.net. They're pretty cheap. But you know, if you run out of like if you get a ton on here and then a ton on SEO hosting, then you go to IndiaNets. Then maybe get some, like, most of you won't need all these companies. You can just start with BizBuilder and ASEO hosting. And then from there, I'd go to IndiaNets and then maybe SEOhosting.com. And then Host SEO or SEO web hosting. And these are cheap and they're fine, but just not as good support as like BizBuilder and ASEO hosting. So from Pris. No, you don't have to do anything. Just what I do is I always do the site wherever most of the links are pointing. That's the way I build the site. Like, most of the links are pointing to www. I'll make it with the www in there. From Ulysses. Yeah, we rename them. Pretty much all my sites now I'm using private name servers because of the recent de-indexing, which has to do with who is information. So I'm pretty much using private name servers on all my sites now. I'll use a record a little bit, but mostly private name servers now. From Dave. I haven't used them in a while, Dave, so I'm not sure. So I couldn't tell you that. I would ask that in the Facebook group, see if anyone has used them lately. I've just been ranking videos with PBN links. That's what I've pretty much always done for the most part. Mike, that's probably a good question for Fletch. He's really good with knowing with the markets. But I mean, the advice I can give you is you can go after anything that needs like service now, like like emergency plumbing, like a locksmith, like emergency locksmith, because those are very good leads. Because if you're, for example, if I'm locked out of my car and I go on my phone and I look for emergency locksmith or even just a locksmith because I need my car unlocked now. When you call, you're looking to get someone out there right now. So that's why those types of areas are so good, because they're such good leads. So you can start with stuff like that, but then Fletch can really go into more depth on some good niches. Fletch or Cotton. Alright, from Stephanie. Um, I mean, it really depends. If it's a general PBN, I got general PBNs with up to like 10 posts on them, linking out to maybe 15 different money sites. I don't like doing that many. Most of mine only have 1 or 2 posts on them, and I'm starting to theme most of my PBNs now, where it's with the same theme or the same topic, all health at least, something like that. But I mean, it just really depends on what you're doing with your PBN and what your budget is and all that. So just don't link to the same sites together too many times, especially without authority links. That's the best advice I can give. From Gunners. I don't know what you mean by an independent site, but I mean, I would just do whatever you're interested in. Again, as I explained earlier in the webinar, if it's something that you're passionate about, it's a lot easier to keep it going if you're talking about affiliate stuff. That's just what I do. From Sue. It doesn't matter, Sue. It keeps all those links are what are powering it. So as long as the links going to it are still there, it doesn't really matter. You can wait. From Pris. Yeah, it's true, Pris. Yep. But I mean, I think most of the good domains are in Register Compass. From Andrew. The more indexes? I think you mean the more pages indexed. As long as it's indexed, that's all I care about. If that's what you're talking about, Andrew. Hopefully it is. I mean, now it's a little longer, Lonnie, because of the there's a ranking delay in place, which we talked about, but it really depends on competition. Anywhere from a couple weeks to who knows how long. If it's really really competitive. So it's really about competitiveness. Yeah, I mean, some of the best registrars are GoDaddy, Namecheap, Enum, just because so many people use them, it helps you blend in. So those are some of my favorite ones. From Kenneth. Yeah, Kenneth, I would just start with the orientation section. That will get you going. And then also make sure you're in the OMG NHB, or I'm sorry, the OMG beginners group, because they have a lot of good stuff there for complete beginners on getting you started. From Eric. Yeah, but be careful with using SeaWorks service now. I'll have to test them again. I mean, I have a video from it that still, I believe, is still ranking #1. Yeah, and it's still a huge video. I mean, this was from 1 gig from him, and it's still ranking, but people are reporting that new gigs from him are not that good, so I'm going to have to look into that, maybe do some testing. But for now, I'd probably use PBNs to rank videos to be safe. I mean, for a video, honestly, you can always re-upload the video and just start over. So, I mean, if you want to take the risk with $5, it's not a huge deal. But it just depends on your situation. All right, from Ulysses. Yeah, if there's many pages with one link, Ulysses, I would just use Link Juice Keeper. From Candace. I'm not sure exactly what that means, Candace. I've seen that too. I'm not sure what it means. I'm not technical, so try that one in the Facebook group. We got a lot of really good technical people in there. From Low. We couldn't, Low. I mean, we just picked some stuff and went after it. That's all. It was just for example. We're not too worried about most of those. I mean, we are building Franklin TN Guide into a real, My City Guide state or site, but it didn't start that way. We kind of start with some random niches. Then now we're building it out more carefully planned. But all those terms you see, we didn't exactly like think hard about them. But also, even like Franklin TN MMA classes, we go back to this. This would probably show no searches in the keyword planner, but I guarantee you people are typing this in. The way I get a lot of my keywords is, if I'm in Franklin looking for MMA classes, what am I going to type in? And I'm going to type in Franklin TN MMA classes, Franklin MMA classes, or even just MMA classes. And of course, if you were in Franklin, our site would likely show up. Since I'm in Delaware, I'm getting, Philadelphia, which is close by, and close by, MMA type places. So if you're in Franklin, you type in MMA classes, our site would probably be #1 as well. Just because it's local to there. From David. Just one, David. I mean, you can link to different pages of one site, money site. I usually don't link to more than 3 pages of a money site from one PBN, but I always do it from one article. So if I'm linking to um, to Kalecast.com, maybe I'll send a link to the home page, maybe I'll send a link to the brands page, and maybe I'll send a link to the reviews page or something like that, whatever. Alright, but from one PBN, one article, I would have these 3 links, but that's all I would send from that PBN to this site. I would not send anymore. From Dave. Fake names just means like fake, like you can use a fake name generator and generate a random name, and then use this information for the contact information. And we either have a new video on that, or we have a new video coming on how to do that. It's easy. You generate this, you go to the contact info, and you put this in the contact info for that site. Of course, you can't have privacy turned on to do that. From Chris. No. Nope. From Tom. There is an Amazon group, Tom. Mike controls that one. So if you're not in the Amazon group and you want to get in, just contact Mike. If you're not in the beginner Facebook group, contact Mike. If you're not in the regular OMG Facebook group, contact me. From Kenneth. Check out the videos I got, especially the Over the Shoulder series, Kenneth, where I show how I got expired domains for like $12, $24. So check out those videos. And those are the type of stuff that I ranked this Franklin TN MMA class with. And then even like Franklin TN car insurance, which is not easy. This was ranked with like 2 links, and here we are at #1 right here. Okay, it was ranked with 2 links from the sites that were like $69 each. Very cheap. From Dave. Pretty much the same thing, Dave, just kind of different functionality. But for the most part, the same thing. They have the same purpose. From Eric. And you just wouldn't, Dave, you wouldn't use them to a money site, usually. I mean, you can, but I don't recommend it unless you really know what you're doing. Just mostly use them for, like, ranking videos and Web 2.0 and stuff like that. Alright, from Eric. I mean, just, take it one day at a time. It's a lot of work, a lot of content. And it depends how you, like, one of my mistakes was doing too many sites. I would do, like, maybe a couple larger sites instead of having hundreds of small sites, because it's so hard to keep up. If something goes wrong, you got to fix all the sites instead of just, 1 or 2. So I would just focus on building out one or even 2, maybe 3 big sites, and just focus on that. That would be my biggest advice. vKraken is a plugin from Network Empire. I don't really use it that much, just because. Or I'm sorry, vKraken is the video plugin that can help you kind of generate automatic video content. Just helps keep your site fresh. But they have more information on that over at Network Empire. The V silo one is the one I don't use a ton, just because when I silo, I usually manually silo, just to keep it simple. But some people like using that tool, so and it's an awesome tool. I just like doing things myself because I'm hard-headed. All right, from Mike. I don't really use GSA. I'm gonna have to talk to Jimmy about that mic and see what he's saying. We'll see what he says about it, because he's the GSA master. From Cliff. I don't do any of that, Cliff. Not yet, at least. So I don't worry about that yet. We're in talks with Network Empire about some stuff Google may be doing soon, and we'll if that comes along, we'll have something for it. From Welton. I mean, I wouldn't create all your sites with Genesis. I would switch up the themes, Welton. If you're talking about like a PBN network. But other than that, no, using Fantastico is fine. That's what I use, or something similar. You can definitely use private name servers with GoDaddy. I do it all the time. And you should be able to do it with HostGator too. But if you're using a shared HostGator account, that's not SEO hosting. So you're just doing one domain per account. So you could just use the name servers as long as you're not doing too many HostGator accounts. But you should be able to do private name servers for anything you use, Chris. From Dave. I mean, you can do stuff like blog commenting, Web 2.0 stuff. That stuff all still works. Just try to make sure it's relevant and, like posting on relevant blog sites and, making your Web 2.0s, of course, relevant to the YouTube video and linking back to it. Stuff like that. Dave, the reason I don't read it is just because it takes too long. And, of course, saves my voice. We got a lot of questions that come in, so you should be able to see it on the screen. You can read right along with me. And then I answer after. From Sue. Yeah, I mix it up, Sue. I have shared, I have dedicated, I have reseller, I have all that. Money sites, some good places to host. I use Host9 for a lot of mine. Liquid Web's good. Planet Hosting, or what's it called? Planet Web Hosting. I don't know. Host9 for a lot of them, and then Liquid Web's pretty good. There's another one that I use, but I forget exactly what it's called. From Stephanie. I mean, we have videos on this, but you just, you get the IP, you set them in the cPanel, NS1, NS2, or whatever you want to use. Then you set up the name servers in your, on the domain side, and each domain registrar kind of does it a little differently. You set them up there, and then you set them as the actual name servers in the domain place. But again, we got videos on how to do that. From Ulysses. Yeah, I mean, I use Host9. I don't use them for PBNs anymore, but for money sites, they've always been reliable for me. They're easy to use, they're cheap, so I recommend them for money sites. I like them a lot. Alright, from Steve. I think you mean the registrar, Steve, not the host, because you host it yourself. But yeah, I usually leave my PBNs wherever they end up, unless they're now if they're with Network Solutions, I'll move them out of there because they have that perfect privacy crap in their who is information. But if they go to GoDaddy, I leave them in GoDaddy. If they go to Big Rock, I leave them in Big Rock. If they go to Enum, I leave them in Enum. If they go to Network Solutions, I transfer them out. I'll transfer them to like Namecheap or something like that. From Sue. I would have to look at the site, Sue. I've never seen that. It needs like the backlinks and the on-page stuff and all that. So it's impossible to say without saying it. All right, from Ulysses. I try to avoid that, Ulysses, but I do have it happening in some cases, and it's fine. But I wouldn't do it like on purpose. Okay. From Welton. Yeah, absolutely. The sites can be set up on regular hosting. Yeah, no, definitely. And it kind of goes hand in hand with Ulysses' question. I wouldn't even have them on the same server. Like, I'm not saying it. You should be fine. Like, if you had like an ASEO hosting account and you had 30 IPs, 29 of them were PBNs and one was a money site, you'd probably be okay. But you could also be found out. So I would avoid it. And again, I do have some money sites like that where I'm linking to them from PBNs on the same hosting account, but it was kind of by accident and just me being negligent. So I would definitely avoid it if possible. And yeah, you can definitely safely do that, Welton. Yeah, absolutely. All right, from Scott. Um, I mean, they lose the age, Scott, so maybe a little bit. And then also, usually most of the good domains are picked up at pre-release. So it's not really like in Google's eyes. It's just like in general. Like most of the sites with the better links going to them get picked up at pre-release. So there's not as many good sites in the expired domains. So I mean that's the reason why the actual expired ones might not get as much love because the really good ones get picked up in pre-release. It's mostly about the links. So that's the reason why. No, I don't, Kathleen. I have no idea why. I haven't seen it often though. Like I don't see it very often. From Stephanie. Yeah, that's what I've been doing lately, Stephanie. But I still have general PBNs that have up to 10 posts on them, doing just fine. And by general, I mean totally different niches, linking up to 15 different money sites. If you can afford it, I would recommend theming them and keeping it to a post or two in the same niche. But if you can't, the general PBNs are still working. I don't care what anyone says; they're still working. So, and really, I mean, there's not really a limit that you can link to, Stephanie. Just I wouldn't keep linking to the same money sites over and over again, especially if you're not using authority links. Like if you link to just money site A, B, and C on 5 different PBNs, that's a big footprint because those 3 sites have links from 5 sites, and all of them have links from the same 5 sites. So that's something they can put together. So just be careful of that. Alright, from Shane. Mike takes care of the beginners group, Shane, so you want to ask him about the Amazon group or the beginners group. He takes care of both of them. I take care of the regular Facebook group. And if you've added me and sent me a message, you should be added into that group. And I usually confirm with you. If I've added you and you're still not in the group, just send me another message, because sometimes I don't get messages if we're not friends yet. So for anyone who's not in the main Facebook group, and we're already friends, just send me another message to let me know. And I'll get you in there. For Michelle, check out the blueprint Mike put together, Michelle. He has I believe there's like an index in there that has like a glossary that has like terms that people don't know about. Or you can simply ask on here. What does this mean? What does that mean? Or you can ask in the Facebook group. List all the terms you don't know what they are. Ask in the Facebook group or ask in here. Either one, you'll get them answered. The regular Facebook group is like OMG NHB. Let me see. OMG NHB team. Okay. That's the main group that you want to be in. From Dave. Sorry, I got distracted by a text message here. Alright, I actually don't use them on my money sites. I just use them on my PBN sites. I don't know why. I just never got in the habit of using them on my money sites. But me, I just personally just use them on my PBN sites, and I think it does a great job helping the links get picked up quicker, just kind of giving the links more credibility. I don't think there's anything wrong with using it on money sites. I just never got in the habit of it, because a lot of my money sites were already up before Social Explosion came out, so I just never got in the habit of using them for new money sites. Alright, from Mike. Do I ever use Tor browser? Here it is right here. I have Tor up there right there. Yeah, I also like Chrome, Mike, but I'm using it less and less now, with what Google seems to be coming out with tracking more and more activity. I don't use a VPN or anything. When I've been posting to my PBNs lately, I've just been using the Tor browser to post to my PBNs. But now, like when I'm just browsing regularly, I just use Chrome or Firefox. But if I'm posting to my PBN, I'll do the Tor browser. Let me close this up, or I'm gonna get. And Shane, I'll get you in there. I'll come back to this after our session. I'll get you in. From Cheryl. That's weird. I've never heard anyone had that problem, Cheryl. Let me know if it happens again. We'll look into it. From Dave. I mean, really, you could probably use all 10 and be fine, Dave, but I would just add in a good amount of authority links. To be safe, I'd maybe use like 6, 7 of them. But technically speaking, you could probably use all 10 and be fine, as long as you add in authority links. It just depends how safe you want to be. From Low. I mean, you can just kind of look at the sites and see what types of links they have. You can run through Open Site Explorer or run through ahrefs.com, which is pretty good for that type of stuff, and just see how many links they have and the power of their links and what type of anchor text they're using. And that's just something that comes with time as well. And just also think about the term. Like, if you know how much money it makes, the more money a term makes, the more competitive it's going to be. So you can also kind of add that into the mix. So those are all things you can do to determine that. From Andrew. Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to start. He does a good job, so that could definitely be a good way to start. From Lonnie. A silo is basically like an architecture of a site, like a setup, Lonnie. So it's like, if you have a site on precious metals, or let's say like it's like money.com, okay? So let's go over here. Say we got money.com, and you want to cover different topics of money. So, one silo might be money.com/gold, okay? So that's one silo. One silo might be money.com/silver. One silo might be money.com/stocks. Okay, these are each silos, and then you would go deeper into these topics. So maybe like gold IRA. Maybe you'd do a page on like money.com/gold investing. Uh, all the different topics of gold would go under the gold category. All the topics of silver would go in the silver category. All the topics on stocks would go in the stocks category. The silo is the actual category. So gold would be a silo, silver would be a silo, and stocks would be a silo. It's kind of like a topic of the site. All right. So that's what siloing means. It's kind of like a structure of the site. From Andrew. Yeah, he's cool to do that with. From David. Yes, one IP for each PBN. That is correct. All right, from Jerry. It's really hard to say without seeing the site, Jerry. It depends. Like, is there previous links going to it? How long ago did you do the PBN links? Would you use for the anchor text? Were there URLs? It all depends on what's going on there. Like, I would need to know more information. From Mike. Affiliate links into a money site. Yeah, I think you mean like affiliate links from your money site. I mean, you can put the regular affiliate links in. It's not really a big deal. I usually use PHP code to do it. It's like a PHP redirect. So if you go to like, let me show you. So you see in the bottom left-hand corner, let's go to like calcast.com/v2sigs.php. This is my affiliate link for v2sigs. Okay, and if you go there, it redirects the. I did the wrong link. What was it again? v2.php. So this is my affiliate link for v2sigs. Okay. So it redirects to the affiliate link and then sends them to the the affiliate link. That's a PHP code. Ask in the Facebook group for that. A lot of people already have it, and if no one answers, I'll come in and put it in there for you. All right. So if you want to use that, or you can use like Go Codes. Some people use that. It's like a plugin. You can use that for affiliate links. I wouldn't worry about that too much though. From Stephanie. I wouldn't use SEOhost.com. They haven't been very good for me. From Cheryl. Pagematic. I don't know what they do, but I've heard of them. From Pris. I mean, yeah, think of it this way, Pris. If you got 10 PBNs, right? And you got 3 money sites, which are all on the same IP. If you have 10 of the same sites linking to 3 different money sites, but all of those are on the same IP, that's a footprint. These 3 different money sites with the same IP are being linked to from the same 10 sites. How would that happen naturally? So that's the reason you also want to switch up the IPs for your money sites when possible, because it's just another footprint thing can happen. From Cheryl. Yeah, I'm not sure what he meant if he meant hosting, because you control the hosting, so I'm not sure what he meant there. From Stephanie. They keep switching up their IPs and stuff, Stephanie. And Todd Spears gave us some inside information about them. I'm leaving all my old PBNs that I have on Host 9 on there, but I'm just not moving any further new PBNs through Host 9. So, from Sue. I use both. Mostly shared, Sue, but I will mix in dedicated. ASEO hosting is just an SEO hosting service, Cheryl. Just like SEOhosting.com or BizBuilder Hosting. They're an SEO hosting company, and I really like them. Mike, I don't have a Bentley. That's Mike. Mike Long and David both have Bentleys, actually. I actually drive behind a Pilot. And just a regular. I drive a regular car. From Mike. No, me personally, I just buy tons of PBNs. Like I probably have 50 PBNs right now that I don't even have set up on hosting. I just keep buying them and buying them. From Stephanie. Yeah, and again, we just went over that. I would do money sites on different IPs. From Eric. Yeah, like you said, it depends on the URL. But if there's 5 keywords you want to rank for, you're going to use those 5 keywords as your anchor text when you're building links to that site. From your PBN. Unless, of course, it's like an EMD, then of course you want to be a little more careful. And like if it was like an EMD for one of the keywords, which was like a synonym for all the rest of them, I would probably do that one last out of the 5 keywords. But yeah, generally, in most cases, you're going to use those 5 keywords as your first 5 anchor text, and then you're going to kind of start mixing in like maybe one more word with each of them, synonyms, stuff like that. Okay. From Marty. I would separate the money sites, personally. From Low. Yes, absolutely, Low. From Mike. Affiliate links into a money site. I mean, the only affiliate links I really do are on my money site, so I'm not sure what you're trying to do, Mike. But my affiliate links I use are just on my money site. Is this the same? Okay, I messed. Hold on, let me get another screenshot here because I answered all these. All right, from Pris here. Have you outranked a Yelp site? I mean, it depends if it has links going to it, what the market is, but I outrank Yelp all the time. PBNs is the best way to go always for me. But I mean, I think I also have sites outranking Yelp that don't even have PBNs going to them. So I mean, they're not terribly hard to outrank most of the time. You outrank them just like anything else. Proper anchor text and URL set up with pretty good links going to it. The easiest place to buy IPs is SEO hosting, Cheryl, which is in any of the companies we named earlier. BizBuilder Hosting, ASEOhosting.com, Indian Nets. Scott, yes, this is recorded. All these coaching sessions get recorded. From Dave. That's fun. You guys just asked the same question. Again, it's the same thing as outranking anything else. They just have more authority, so they can be tough to outrank sometimes. But for the most part, if you get your URL and anchor text right and you have some good PBNs, you should be able to outrank them in most cases. From Carol. You're getting your IPs from a hosting provider, Carol. It has nothing to do with your computer, really. Um, like, they set up the IPs for you, Carol. Okay, so, like, let me show you. If you go to ASEOhosting.com, let's go to hosting, SEO hosting in USA. Let's say you want to get 5 IPs, you would sign up right here. You want 10 IPs, order. Okay. When you sign up, you'll set up a site for each IP. Like you'll set up the site, and we have videos on how to do this. Once you set up the account, that account gets signed an IP, or that website gets signed an IP. You get 10 of those. So you get set up 10 websites. Each website will be set up on a different IP. Okay? So the hosting companies do that for you. From Mike. I imagine they still pass juice, Mike. I imagine they pass you some juice, but I don't have any experience with that because I've never done it, so I'm not positive. But I imagine that they just kind of pass juice to you. I wouldn't imagine that really hurting you, but I'm not positive because I haven't done it. From Cheryl. Yeah, it always says Mike Long for some reason. From Pris. That is correct. Yes, thank you, Pris. From Carol. Yes, they can. And again, they're being powered from the links going to them. So I mean, as long as those links are going to them, it can power whatever you link to. Doesn't matter if you set up a year later. From Lonnie. nothing. I mean, in the end, they're all PBN sites, which you're using to rank, a money site. From Tom Owens. Yeah, that would be enough in that case, Tom, because I mean it's still the same topic. You know what I mean? Like quitting smoking and electronic cigarettes go hand in hand. Uh, Now if it was like, I mean, even sometimes I'll do stuff like maybe I'll talk about quitting smoking and then I'll kind of mix in like a totally different health topic. Or here's a better example. I have a client, or we have a client from Nashville SEO that's like a car dealership, and then we also do some stuff in like car insurance. So I'll do maybe an article on car insurance, and then in the sidebar I'll put like resources. If you're in the Nashville area and you need a used car, go check out our client. So I mean I'll like mix and match stuff like that, but I won't do like like an article about Barbie dolls and then link out to like put a sentence in there about cars. Like I wouldn't go that far. It would probably still work honestly, but I wouldn't do it. They're getting a little smarter about that. All right, it's 9:30, so I'm gonna grab any last questions we got here, and then we'll wrap it up. So we got about 5 more questions here. Whoops, let me get a better screenshot. Or no, we're alright. Alright, from Sue. No, I've never used DomCop, never even heard of it. So no, I haven't. From Mike. I usually do it my first article, Mike. When I put content on my PBNs, it's to link out to my money sites. From Cheryl. I mean, you shouldn't have to, Cheryl. That shouldn't matter. Unless I'm missing something, that you should be okay there. You're welcome, Carol. From Mike. I mean, usually I'll just set up WordPress and just kind of let it sit there empty. Like I'll set up all my plugins and all that, and it'll just sit there with a blank WordPress, like no posts available screen, whatever it says. No content, I forget what it says. And then when I'm ready to post on it, I'll get an article, I'll put it up, and I'll post it, with my links going out. From Cheryl. It really doesn't take long, Cheryl. Maybe 5 minutes per site, something like that. Once you get it down, it's just you set up this site through the WHM, which is called it's a web host manager. It's like what most SEO hosting places use. And then you set up your private name servers, install WordPress, and it's set. I mean, it takes about 5 minutes per site once you have it down. And I'm sure there's plenty of people that would do that for you in the group. Or of course you can learn it yourself and then just reteach someone. That's always a good way to go. Just because it's good to know how to do it before you have someone else doing it. Then you can spot if they did anything wrong or anything like that. But yeah, it doesn't take long, Cheryl. And David Mills taught me like a lot of things seem hard until you do them. And like you, I hate like learning stuff like that, especially stuff that seems technical to me. But usually I'll learn. I'll be like, oh, that's so easy. Like I'll really dread learning it, and then I just kind of dig down and just learn it, and it ends up being really easy. So I promise you, it's not hard. Maximum number of spins. I don't really do that much of that anymore, Tommy. Maximum number of spins. I think you're saying like how many times would I use an article? I mean, usually like when I have a spun article, when I did use spin articles, or when I do like for like GSA or something like that through Jimmy, it's just one large spun article, and we just put that in there. But I wouldn't reuse like a spun article more than for like more than one project. If that makes sense. Alright, so I got one more screenshot just to take care of any final questions. I'm not sure if these are all thanks or any more questions here, but I'm going to check. And then we'll get rolling. Alright, so two more questions down here. WHM is just like it's where you set up your accounts for the cPanel. So like a WHM, you'll have all the domains you add. It's where you can like control the IPs. You can change IPs for websites. You can access the cPanel for each site you set up. But those we show that in the videos, like with with that SEO hosting stuff. So it's kind of like a portal to cPanel in a way. And to check for duplicate content, Copyscape.com. Right here. Let's go to Copyscape.com. It costs 5 cents per run. That's it, 5 cents. Alright. Alright, guys, I'm going to end this session here. I'll get this recording over to David tonight, and he should have it up by tomorrow or so. And then my next session will be probably early next week. I will probably do like a day session next time. We try to like switch it up for everyone with the time zones and all that. Alright, again, thank you everyone for coming, and I will see you on the next one.